You were like, damn, my stream was ghetto as shit. I didn't know how to do half of the shit that I know how to do now. But I did that shit. I finally started that shit.
You be in the facility like Joe Rogan at that point.
hmm That's big facts. So what's good, bro? How are you?
I'm good, man. It's good to be on here.
Sushi
You know,
Blue, first episode.
yeah, dude, it's cool to be on the ground floor or something. How do
Yeah,
you feel? Like,
the
this is
basement.
your first episode ever.
You already know the basement. Fresh off of Friendsgiving.
Right. It's a good Friendsgiving too. It's a little wild, bro, right?
It was dope, bro. It was the crazy part for me was having kids there. It was like
Right, right.
the whole family vibes was yeah, it was dope.
You're really there. Like, yeah.
It was dope. It was dope. So bro, the reason we here, beautiful. We're dropping on Tuesday.
Yes, sir.
It's been a
Yes,
little
sir.
while
We're
since you dropped
dropping
some music,
Tuesday.
right?
It's been a whole year, but I'm excited to get the ball rolling with everything that we have planned. And as you know, we got a whole bunch coming. Highest Basement, the label as well.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, beautiful dropping. It's a posse cut. Got a bunch of friends and collaborators on here. Sarah Winston, Nothing Special, Brandon Clark, Remington Iron. It goes on. We got mad people on here. So I'm excited to be sharing this record that we put so much like time and energy into. This from the Paradise sessions.
Oh, really? Good from the
Yeah.
Paradise Sessions. Because I was gonna ask you, with that many people, like, how were you all together, or with like emails?
I mean, I guess this is like one of those like blessings from that camp that's still going on, you know? Like that song came all that way, which was what, 2020?
Yeah,
Probably end of 2019, 2020,
yeah.
all the way here to almost 2023. That's like, I guess that says a lot about how we like
That's deep.
do our releases over here, you know? Like
You know,
starting from
yeah.
nothing.
That's one thing about us. We always take our time with our records when we're crafting records, and it might most of our songs end up like a 2 year process. So that's dope to know. I was wondering. I saw on Instagram it was like mad people that worked on this record. So I was like, man, how did like were they all together? Did they schedule this? So to know it came from Paradise, that makes sense. That's dope. N-
Yeah.
Now, so with all them people there, obviously you put the vocals on it, like you did the writing on the record. So what made you go with like the beautiful approach?
Yeah, so I feel like when we were in the studio making this record, uh, it came together in a very like organic way. We started with that sample that you can hear in the background that you'll be able to listen to when the song drops.
Okay.
Kind of it sounds like a clip from a video game, and I think we just got to chopping it up and thought about like some of our favorite games and trying to evoke some of those feelings.
That's dope.
And beautiful came up. You know what I mean? And that idea took itself all the way to the artwork that was done by Vic Andrew Vickery.
Shout out Vic,
And
man. He be snapping.
yeah, and also shout out Jazz Tunes for making the animation.
Chaz Tunes,
Spent
yeah, yeah. He did some animations for me
a lot,
before too.
a lot of hands on this, a lot of hands on this. So I'm excited to like really get it out there because and just being a part of like High's Basement, we always collaborated,
hmm
but like I don't know how many like big posse cuts like this we really put out.
Right, right.
So it's cool. It's cool. I'm excited.
It's funny you say that because we got some things in the mix right now, and it's funny just to think how long it takes for us to like get to the records like huge posse cuts like that. It's
Yeah.
usually like you and Sheed or me and Brandon or me and Wobie or you and Brandon or like or you Sheed
Yeah.
and Wobie. So like to really get down to the Wu-Tang type esque like arc of that basement is getting fire. Yeah.
Yeah. But like kind of bounce out what we were talking about yesterday. Like this is how we are like, unleashing like a full universe.
Yeah.
We had to build Moses. We had to build Sheet. We had to build Trip.
hmm
To build Wobie. So that they have their own universes. And now we can start having saying, the Avengers type joints.
It's dope. It's dope,
We
bro. It's
started
dope.
incorporating universes. And that was always the goal with this, right? To like
Yeah,
each be on our own lane that's progressive and finding ways to tie together. That's exactly what Sushi Blue is like.
yeah.
It's a way for us to tie together all our creativity and help each other
And
with
just
it, you know.
yeah, and
So
just put a spotlight
I
on it.
just want to take a moment to say I'm really proud of you for like coming up with this idea and following through on it and like creating a lane for yourself that's different than like what we've
Fact.
been doing, you know. Like that's the way you really get far, like going down your own lane. And I see this going a long way, bro.
Respect, bro. Respect. I appreciate that. You already know. I mean, ever since I joined the collective, bro, like that was one thing that always stuck out to me is just the creativity and the differentness. Like even
Yeah,
how we like when I first came in the gang and just how we approach making records. It's like don't we're not trying to sound like anything that we heard before. And it's the
yeah,
same in how we create content. It's like we're not trying to do anything that we've already seen. We're trying to push the envelope always.
yeah, dude. And you're definitely somebody who like I think has been inspiring to the whole team in the sense of like not being afraid to try new things. I think like like we kind of sometimes as artists get into this thing of like my vision has to come across the way I want it to because I put so much energy into it that we don't take enough time to really just recalibrate sometimes and
Right.
attack things a different way. Like I was so against being on, social media or just like, trying to make content, but like seeing you try new things really pushed me to like, all right, let me give this TikTok thing a try.
And
Let
you
me let me
start
try to like,
snapping on TikTok, boy.
yeah,
You
dude.
start going
And
crazy.
I wouldn't have taken that step if I hadn't seen you like branching out, trying new things, like with the DJing,
Yeah,
like just like you were never afraid to like just hop in another bag, and that's part of the shit that keeps me going. I'm trying to figure out new ways to express myself. Like you asked Moby yesterday, like, do you consider yourself a rapper? And like for me, like I don't know if I even consider myself like just a singer. I just think of myself as an artist because the potential we have is unlimited. If you're a creative person, you can do anything, literally.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like it comes down to the fact that at the end of the day, I'm a creative and like it's in me.
Yes,
Like no matter like even down to like conversation or what, no matter what I'm doing, like I'm thinking of in a creative way. You feel me? And like, so no, I'm not just like a rapper. Cause like, even when I'm rapping, it comes down to, no, this beat sounds good. No, this beat got that bounce that I can say this or that on. Like, it's not even just rapping, it's curating a moment.
exactly. And that same process applies itself to so many different like disciplines and mediums. Like when we started this, right? Like we didn't really know how to do anything. All I really knew how to do was like record myself on Mixcraft. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like I never directed a video. I never wrote a treatment. Like fast forward to today, like most of my videos I have some kind of co-direction, and that's really out of necessity. You know what I mean? Like you never know where this shit's gonna take you.
yeah,
Some of my favorite and like most inspired like people I look up to in just like music and film. A lot of them got their start like later on in life. I think that's mad inspiring. Like it's never too late to pivot. Like I was just reading about Ava DuVernay,
mm,
the director.
yeah,
I don't know if you've seen any of her films, but like she didn't pick up a camera until she was 45.
that's wild.
She had a whole she went from that like never having any kind of like experience in the world of like directing films to like I don't know, I think she was like a teacher or something for like 20, 30 years.
Yeah,
And she just decided like she was going to put herself into learning how to make films. And I think like fast forward probably like 10, 15 years later, she's like directing Selma and stuff like that. Like,
that's nuts. Cause that Selma was a major motion picture, right?
yeah, dude, like
Cause I know she did 13th, which was like the documentary on Netflix.
that was good. Yo, speaking of which, I actually, it's funny you mentioned that. I went to Eastern State Penitentiary for the first time today.
Really?
Yeah, that was mad random. I took like a historical tour.
I was like, it's not even Halloween.
I know, right? That's what I told somebody that they were like, "Oh, like you're into the spooky stuff." I'm like, "Nah."
Yeah, it's not even Halloween.
I just thought, yeah, I took the historical tour, but
Yeah, that's
that's
dope
funny,
though.
man. Like,
You see some of them cells and how small those cells are, and it's all brick.
bro, it's crazy. Like, I didn't realize that the whole place is meant to inspire like penitentiary comes from the word penance or
Mm.
forgiveness,
Hmm.
and the whole place is like meant to humble you. It was built by the Quakers.
Of course.
Like,
In
like
Pennsylvania, boy.
if you go there, like the cells, like they're low. They have high ceilings, but the door entrances are low to the ground, so you have to duck to get in there.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's
Now
like,
I've been there
and
often.
it's like, bro, it's kind of crazy like how much thought went into that place. Like,
To house
wow,
prisoners.
it was like really progressive at the time, but you know, they invented solitary confinement.
Sheesh.
Yeah,
That's
it was
rough.
it was it was
What a thing
it was
to invent.
supposed to be, but it was supposed to be like a meditative experience for the prisoners. You know, like the idea
Mm.
was that like you spend time by yourself, you like return to center, you won't be violent, and it turns out like it had the opposite effect. It makes niggas go crazy.
It makes niggas go wild. Right. No, like the human brain can't withstand just being in a room by yourself with nothing for
Bro, yeah,
hours. Nah.
we need to be around people. Like I firmly believe that. Like there is nothing great that you accomplish by yourself 100%. You know, like you always need to collaborate with people. So like if you want to be successful at anything, like you need to know how to be with people.
Yeah. That's dope, bro. That's a
Yeah,
fact. I mean, that's dope because I feel like that's why the gang strives so hard, like that we do.
yeah.
Because it's just a bunch of people focused on one singular goal, you know, and just putting it all into that shit.
We definitely we keep each other going. Like just even this year, like Wobie definitely was holding us down in the
Oh
whole year. Like
man, hell
with
yeah.
everything he's been doing. And like I think that's what we started this for, right? Like because it's like as an artist yourself, like you can only be so productive,
Hmm.
like throughout the year. You know what I mean? Like you can only do so much, but with a collective, like
We can
well,
keep.
somebody's working on something, we got something else in the tuck, something
Yeah,
else ready to go. Like,
that
and
was
it's cool. It's cool seeing it play out exactly like how we said all
ex
these years.
exactly, and that's one thing I'll give some credit to Riley for too. Because I remember first coming in the gang and it was like rollout schedules and shit, and I was like, what? Nigga, like I want to drop today. What the fuck are you talking about? And it was like, nah, like Sheed's about to drop right now, and then Wobie's got this coming out, and then Moses is gonna drop this project, and then you come in right here, and then there's no days off. And
Same place.
that's how we really built that foundation. Like incredible. But all right, this isn't an HBC reunion episode. We talking about Viewtiful right now. So
Yeah,
so
we gonna get to that episode one day.
so you yeah, nah, that's the documentary. But
Yeah,
so you landed on Viewtiful, and so like give me a sample. So like how's the hook going? Like what's the beautiful part of it?
like it's meant to like inspire the feeling that you get like when you see somebody that you are like really into,
Okay.
really connect with.
Okay.
It's a beautiful feeling, and
Mm.
it like ties in with the game because of the
Mm.
sample and just the general vibe of like the production.
So
Really, just trying to drop the listener in that world.
so are we getting more poppy dancey Moses on this or some R&B Moses on this?
I would say it's a good little mix of both. Like, it's definitely a pretty accessible record. It's a very like record that I think has a little bit of something for everyone, especially with the features we have on there, the production. It's definitely it's leading the way to for. I feel like it's a nice reintroduction as we come into this new year for
Okay.
some of the stuff that I have coming up because I would say like I have records like Beautiful Joe, but I have a lot more that don't sound like Beautiful Joe.
Okay. I feel you. So you said one thing. You said features. Now, are there other vocals featured on this record also?
Yes.
Okay, because with all
So
the
so
names, I saw a lot of production names in there. So I thought it was just. So there's other vocals on there. Who are the other
yeah.
vocalists on there?
So I got accompanying me, Wes Walker, and I
Okay,
have Sarah Winston on the record.
nice.
But yeah, you're right.
Shout out Boaz.
Everyone's had a little bit of a hand in both when it comes to like the writing and the production. But featured vocals on there are me, Wes Walker, Sarah Winston.
That's dope. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
I don't know if you can see this, but I just this is nostalgic for me. Just like
yeah, I can see
this
it.
boss right here.
Oh, that's tight. Okay, I
Like,
was staring at the screen for a second. I didn't realize I needed to press watch stream.
and like I remember, bro. I had the GameCube. I had Mario Sunshine, Metroid Prime, Beautiful Joe. Like, oh man,
Bro,
yeah,
yeah, this game's
I'm
art
snapping
style
right
is
now.
just like amazing to me. I feel like this game is just like hella slept on, but so influential.
Facts.
Because everybody, like, when I
Ooh,
posted
still
this,
got it.
everybody was hitting me up like, yo, this used to be my favorite game
Oh
back in
yeah,
the day.
bro. Oh, I need to get the V's. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Alright, V. Yeah, bro, this is a classic. And just like the whole GameCube, PS2, 360 era period is just classic. Like,
oh, it's goaded, goaded. So many of the franchises that we love today came out of that time. Like PS2, Xbox 360,
facts.
GameCube.
It's facts. It's facts. And it's
A lot,
funny.
lot of important games came out of
It
that.
it's funny that like it now the video game adaptations are coming out now. Like Sonic, the Sonic movies. Now there's a
Yeah,
Mario movie coming out. Illumination, the guys who did Despicable Me, they're behind that.
really.
Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty good. I'm gonna, wait for it to come on streaming, but it do look pretty good. Damn, I'm about to die.
I'm excited for this Last of Us show that's coming on HBO.
Yeah, I was
Have you seen it?
interested. The Cyberpunk anime, did you see that? No, no, you said no. I remember actually yesterday,
Nah, no, I
bro.
didn't.
That shit was good, dog. I was blown away by that one.
Bro, I'm
Sheesh.
waiting for them to make a Fallout show.
I know
I feel like that would be crazy.
that would be fire. That would be fire.
Fallout has such a rich world to it that I just feel like it would be such a good fit for a series.
The lore is just too crazy. Like
Oh
you could
yeah,
go anywhere with it. In any state. Like every season could be a different state if you want, or a different vault like, in a different state.
that's
Like
tight.
yeah, like
That'd be so tight.
you could go. Yeah, man, that joint would be like man. So you had a GameCube, you said. So what were your like main games you played on
I did.
GameCube?
Man, first game I had on GameCube was Wind Waker. Zelda Wind Waker.
Nice.
I'm definitely something of a Nintendo fanboy. Like I had Metroid Prime. I had Super Mario Sunshine.
Yep, had
Um,
Sunshine.
you had to have Super Mario Sunshine if you had
Facts.
a GameCube.
Facts.
Everybody had that. Um,
Mario Kart Double Dash.
yeah, yeah, that was classic.
Double Dash is classic, bro. Oh man. Ooh, this boy give me a run for my money right now.
I'd say that's a boss.
Yeah.
Damn, I have not played this game in the longest. But you're
Bro.
like making me want to get a GameCube.
That's how it be, bro. That's how it be. Like, that's one thing I picked up recently talking about, like, just like with the DJing and everything. I just been like retro game collecting. You saw me yesterday. I had my PSP on me. Like,
Yeah.
just just getting into like the feeling of like it's history, bro. Like, just the feeling you getting from watching this game. It's that nostalgia. Of, like, damn, I remember where I was, how old I was, what my daily routine was when I was playing this game. Like shit just feel good. It's like it's a natural high. Yeah, like damn, when the world was so simple. Like I I came back for his nut ass. But go
You
ahead.
ever realize like how much some of these games, like how valuable some of these older games are?
Yeah.
Like when we went to that convention,
Hmm.
gaming convention, too many
Too many
games.
games.
Some of these games are rare as hell. Like
Bro, Final Fantasy 7, especially now that they got the remakes and everything, bro. Like
yeah,
they just came out with I actually was playing Final Fantasy 7 while I was waiting for this to start. I'm almost done the remake, but this is Crisis Core. Final Fantasy 7 Crisis Core. It's a PSP game, and this is the events before Final Fantasy 7. The end of this game literally leads up to the very beginning of the Final Fantasy 7 game. But now, obviously, they remade this game, and it just came out because they remade Final Fantasy 7, and they're making it into a trilogy out of the one game. I personally, now that I'm finished it, I don't really care for it. I think they like are stretching it out too long. It's too much filler.
what
But
was the best Final Fantasy game?
I think 7. I would say 7. I would say 7. It's for me. It's between 7 or 10. Uh, 8 was pretty good too, but 10 and 7. So the story of 7, the lore, like I have the DVD of the movie of like that came out years after. So like it's
Oh damn.
it's just the characters, the lore, the whole premise of it. And it even resonates still today where like technically you're a part of a terroristic group taking down the electric company who is robbing the earth or the planet of its natural materials, and it's just it's nuts, bro.
Damn.
Yeah, it's deep. Like it's deep.
That's
It's
like
deep.
one of those like real ahead of its time kind of
Oh,
stories.
way ahead of its. The game itself was ahead of its time. Like I
The
personally,
graphics alone,
yeah,
that used to be what got me about the Final Fantasy game. The cutscenes and
the
shit.
the music too.
Yeah, yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Like that's people's ringtone still today.
Yeah, nah.
Legendary, legendary. I'm not gonna hold you. When I had the GameCube, my joint was backyard baseball and backyard football.
Yo, you just kind of unlocked memories for me,
Yeah,
man. I definitely remember those.
as a young boy, them was my joints. I had little baby McNabb. Little baby McNabb was throwing passes.
Did you ever have a Game Boy?
Hell yeah. How else did I play Pokemon?
Bro, that's like kind of my like nostalgia system. Like I got the emulator on my phone.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll just kind of run the Pokemon games,
Oh,
or even
bro.
like sometimes I've been running like the Mega Man Zero series.
Did you?
You ever play any of those?
Yeah, absolutely. You know what you should get if you like the Mega Man games? You should play the Mega Man Battle Network games.
Dude, those were my
Amazing.
shit. The
Yes.
like red sun and blue
Mm-hmm.
moon.
Yep. Blue
Bro, that was
Moon.
my shit.
Yes. Yes.
They need to like make updated versions of those for the Switch,
Yeah.
or like I would play the hell out of
I
those
would buy that
games
shit.
today.
I would buy that shit. But that and shit. That what was the other one I was about to
Bro,
say though? Oh no. You should play Metroid Fusion because it's the game before
I played
you
that
played
too.
it. You
I played
played
that
it,
too. That was my
bro. Because that, especially now that
Dread.
Dread came out, it's like damn.
Bro, Dread is like by and large the best Metroid game I've ever played though. Like they got everything right in this game. It's probably one of the best games I ever played, honestly.
Yeah. No, for sure, for sure. Because I didn't. I don't really touch my Switch that much, but that had me addicted to my Switch for like at least a
Yo,
month or two.
I'm really thinking about running that game back after I'm tired of playing Persona,
Yeah.
because that was just like an experience. I was really locked in. The last game that had me like that, I probably recommended to you before, Hollow Knight.
Hollow
Great
Knight.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
is that Hollow Knight Silk Song?
Silk Song is coming out. Like
Okay.
it's a highly anticipated sequel to the original game.
Mm,
It was one of those small developer games. I think like it was a team of like I don't know less than 10 people that made the game, and it just became like a wild hit.
hmm.
So
I think it's on Game Pass, so I'm definitely gonna give it a shot.
yeah, definitely.
Damn.
You ever heard of? My sister put me on to Undertale. You know about Undertale?
Undertale. No, I never heard of Undertale.
It's interesting. It's like it's definitely in the JRPG kind
Mm,
of world, but I don't know. It's just, I've never played a game like it.
you
I
ever
can't
hear?
tell you too much without like
Go ahead.
giving away stuff about the story, but definitely give it a spin. It's interesting.
You ever hear this game called Gravity Rush?
I feel like I have. It sounds really familiar.
Apparently it was like huge, but I got it from Brand Bob actually. He let me hold one and two. And yeah, it's like a JRPG, but you play as this girl, she like wakes up, she has no idea where she is, but like she has this power to just defy gravity. So you can turn it on and off, but the game mechanic is nuts because like you turn it on and you're rapidly flowing through the air. Then you turn it off and like you land. So like you'll land on the side of a building or you'll land like it's just weird, but like you can fuck it up mad easy. Like I was falling all over the place.
What system was it on?
PlayStation,
Oh, like PS1?
PS4.
Ah, okay. So this is like a semi-recent game.
Yeah, I think so. Unless they're remakes from PS2 games, I think they're fairly recent. But there's two, Gravity Rush. No, you know what? Because they're remastered, so they got to be older. Because they're remastered. But I don't really know. I never heard of it before. But Brandbow was like, "Oh, if you like JRPGs, you gotta play this game." I was like, "Oh, okay, I give it a shot."
What's a game that you want them to remaster that hasn't come out
Ooh,
yet?
mm, I instantly was pushed to say Max Payne 1. The
Max Payne.
Max Payne games were my shit when I was younger. Um, Metal Gear Solid 1, probably for sure, or 2.
Mm,
I'll take any Metal Gear Solid remake. Hideo Kojima is my favorite game developer by far. I actually just got the PC, so now I'm playing Death Stranding because it's on PC for Game Pass,
yeah,
which is funny in itself because it's a PlayStation game that's on Xbox Game Pass, but that's why it's only on PC Game Pass because it can't be played on Xbox, but you can play it on PC. It's nuts, bro.
that's funny.
Yeah, it's all types of little shit right now, and it's a huge battle going on right now between PlayStation and Microsoft because Microsoft is trying to buy Activision Blizzard, and they own,
Really?
yeah, it's been
Call
like,
of Duty.
yeah, they own Call of Duty along with a bunch of other stuff, but
I
Sony
mean,
is
Call of
put
Duty alone is huge IP.
every year. It's the biggest. It's
Oh
the
my
biggest
god.
right now. So Sony's
Yeah,
been,
I really feel like Call of Duty is like the Marvel of video
yeah,
games.
yeah. It's the Google. Like it's the fucking Apple. It's Call of Duty. Like it's bigger than Madden.
Yeah, I mean, it's Call of, it's a huge deal like in this generation. Like,
Yeah, it's huge, bro. I mean, when you think about the fact that Warzone is 150 players, one game, and they're running a bunch of Warzone games. That's multitudes of 150, and not to mention multiplayer is also being gone. 12 players a game over there. Then
yeah,
you can like it's nuts, but it's yeah, it's so yeah. I mean, I I, I don't mind. I wouldn't mind if it goes through, but it's funny to see like where everything Sony is like, man, there's no way we could compete. Like if they, but it's like they have all these huge single player games. Sony also just bought Bungie that owns Destiny. They make Destiny,
really.
and they made the original Halo.
Yeah, yeah, I know about that.
So they could make a shooter like I mean, think about all the PlayStation IPs like Resistance, Killzone, like so many old SOCOM,
Didn't they do a Portal too?
Portal. That's Valve, that's Steam.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, but I
What?
mean, plenty of they have plenty of things they could do or make something new. Like I'm excited for Starfield. That looks
What?
amazing.
What is that?
It's the new Bethesda game that's coming out next year. and it's pretty much,
It's it's the space one.
yeah, it's the space one.
Oh, okay, okay. This is like the what's that other game that's like similar?
Ah, only one maybe I could say is Mass Effect, maybe, but
It's supposed to be like a massive like open
it's
world,
supposed to be 1,000 planets, 1,000 planets.
and they're all gonna be like playable planets.
That's what they're trying to sell us. Like, but it's the
Wait,
people who make Fallout.
so like these are gonna be like, is it gonna be like scaled to like you a person sized planet, like 1,000 of those?
Yeah, so
Like
like,
it'll be like 1,000 full maps of like a planet.
I mean, this is an assumption, but how I assume they would be doing it is there's, let's say, if there's 1,000 universes, I mean, 1,000 planets, maybe like there's like, I don't know, 300 universes, or like there's different solar systems. Maybe some of the planets are abandoned, maybe some of them are asteroid belts. Are they counting moons and suns, like,
Yeah,
you know? But I mean, it sounds like it's supposed to be large. It's supposed to be like the largest
yeah.
game Bethesda's ever made.
It sounds like they're taking their time with it, and like
Oh yeah, they delayed it a
especially
lot.
especially in the light of like what's how do you feel about this trend of releasing unfinished
Oh
games?
my God. I couldn't
Like
believe Pokemon did
I
it.
just got the new I just got the new Pokemon, and
Oh
it's like
shit.
as soon as I got it, I started hearing from everybody like, oh, it's not finished. So I kind of have yet to dig into it because I've been playing Persona, but also like I'm a little discouraged.
Yeah.
I'm still playing, but
Yes, yes, so they actually just patched it. And now there's a big argument on Twitter on if it actually fixed anything. Half of people say it fixed their game, the other half of people said it didn't fix jack shit.
oh my
So
god,
I don't know. But bro, I mean, it goes back to even Cyberpunk, where like Cyberpunk should have been released a year after, but because of investors, they had to release it. They promised investors the game was releasing, and they had to get it out before that quarter was over. But yeah, they like, so it sucks because it really started with, oh, once the patch came out, the patch, it seemed like the best thing in the world because it was like, oh, if the game comes out buggy, you can fix it, and that was cool until it made developers feel like, oh, we could just release a game in any state and fix it later now. So what
ah,
was supposed to be something that was a good tool turned into turning it lazy. Now, and because look, Pokemon sold, I think, 3 or 5 million that weekend, or 10 million that weekend, and somewhere between 5 and 10 million that weekend. So they're gonna buy it anyway, is what they're saying. Like even Call of Duty, this is the buggiest, worst release of any Call of Duty I've ever seen. And if it wasn't for the fact that it was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and it's Warzone 2, and if that's why we're putting up with it.
yeah. Not only that, I noticed there's a trend too of like games that have like shorter campaigns, and it seems they try to compensate with DLC.
Yeah,
You know, they're giving you less of an immersive experience, like
yeah.
for the sake of just getting the game out. Like you can finish these games like a lot quicker than you used to be able to. I feel like.
DLC it did the same thing that the patch did. At first, DLC was like, "Oh my God, this game was so fire!" Like, like Red Dead Redemption 1 or Fallout. This game was so fire, and then half a year later, Red Dead Zombies or some did downloadable content that it didn't feel like this was missing. This felt like added on content. Now it's okay. The developers make 100% of the game, they scale it back to 40%, release you 40%. You can tell the game is empty, and then they sell you the other 60% as downloadable content. It's
That's
fucked.
crazy.
They just did it with the Mario Strikers game, the soccer game. They released it with like only 4 or 6 characters, and then people called it out before they could even announce it. Like, oh, we already know who the downloadable character is gonna be, because it's the normal characters that would be in any fucking Strikers game that you omitted. It's fucked up, and they're charging more for games.
No, that's true.
It's
That's
crazy
very true.
because we just go and buy them.
You know what it is? I feel like video games are just becoming too big of a business.
Yeah,
And like once you start having stockholders, once you go public,
yeah.
I feel like it just kind of kills the. Like I think before video games, like as an industry was that big, there was more time and love put into just developing games.
Hmm.
Now it's like, oh, it's a business,
Yeah,
and they're trying to figure out a way to market something best, but to the detriment of the fans.
yeah, yeah. To the detriment of like the actual like hardcore gamers and like even the core gamers, because like the casual gamer it won't really affect. But it comes down to like, and this doesn't even bother me, but I just see like what gamers are complaining about, like the Xbox dashboard, right?
Yeah,
It's like in tiles, but in the bottom four tiles is all ad tiles. And there's always ads. As soon as you turn your Xbox on, there could be a Paramount Plus ad at the bottom, or like this is your this is your home, like your home page of your game console, and you got fucking ads. Like it's
no,
crazy.
that's nasty work,
It's
bro.
nasty. It's definitely nasty.
It's kind of crazy to say that like we come from a time to where like we can remember when like I feel like your real estate, like the digital real estate, wasn't so crowded with ads. Like I just remember being on YouTube when there was no ads.
Yeah, yeah.
That sounds crazy.
That sounds nuts.
That sounds nuts. Like
Nuts.
oh, I remember when YouTube you could just watch a video
I,
and
I
there was gonna be no type of ad anywhere.
I'll give you one even better. The fact that YouTube took away being able to swipe out of the app and continue listening, then created something called YouTube Premium and charge you for the simple fact of swiping out of the app. Yo, it's fucking incredible. Like it's like Mercedes Benz. They said they're gonna start charging you for parts of your car now. Did you see that?
No,
So like let's say your car can do 700 horsepower, right? Your car is not going to do 700 horsepower. Your car is going to do like 400. But if you pay a $90 subscription service, we'll unlock the feature for your car. They're trying to fuck us, bro.
no. Have you noticed though, like the model of like I don't know, the model of like how they build customers today is much more subscription based than ever.
Yeah, the Net Neutrality Act. Remember that?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's what this is.
really.
Yeah, I mean they passed a law for every single person to be able to. People thought that meant we were gonna have to pay to go on websites. No, it meant everybody who has a fucking website is gonna charge us to use their service now.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what happened.
it's out of control. Like I feel like there
It's nuts,
needs
bro.
to be like
It's
some
nuts.
regulation or something.
It's nuts,
I,
but
I really I really feel like it's only a matter of time before like you buy like an actual game and there's just gonna be ads in there that you can't do anything about.
well, here's the thing about the buying the games. Now, like most games are blank disc. It's all gonna be digital. But that's gonna be fucking you because then they can take your game away and say you don't own it anymore.
I heard about this
Yeah,
debate
yeah.
about like the reason why like a lot of hardcore gamers are doubling down on physical media because of like the fact that they can take games off of the game store
Mm-hmm.
whenever they want.
Yeah.
Like they're taking away ownership of these titles.
Yeah. Yeah. They like the Need for Speeds, the Metal Gears, like most of the cases, if you buy it, you can always re-download it. I think there has been one
So
or two. Go ahead.
how different do you think the transition from this is kind of a two-part question. How different do you think the transition from physical games to a streaming-based platform will be different from like Netflix and HBO Max? And do you think physical games will ever go away?
Well, I've been on board with Game Pass since day one. Since the very first day and that's what it is. Game Pass is Xbox Netflix. It's Xbox Netflix. You pay, I have Game Pass Ultimate now, so that comes with Xbox Live Gold also. But you pay 15 to 18 bucks a month. You get a plethora of fucking games. The Fables, the Gears of Wars, the Halos, everything. You get everything but fucking Call of Duty, and that's what Sony's afraid of. Because if you get Call of Duty, then you don't need to pay 60, $70 for these games. A lot of times, like Sony, it's come out in the paperwork because they're going back and forth in the courts that Sony has paid game developers to not put their game in Game Pass. Because I think about it, I have two Xboxes and a PS5, right? If fucking the Callisto Protocol or the new Dead Space remake game or Resident Evil 8 or whatever game comes out, Sonic Frontiers, and it's $70 on the PlayStation, or it's free for me on Game Pass because it comes out day one on Game Pass and I can try it the day it comes out for my $18 a month subscription. Then
They're
X
basically undercutting themselves.
and then Xbox makes it even better because when you have Ultimate, you have Game Pass on your Xbox, you have Game Pass on your PC, and you have it via the cloud called X streaming. So that I could pull it up on my phone, I could pull it up on my laptop and just game stream a game without even downloading it.
That's tight.
I can even game stream it on my PC. I can even game stream it on my Xbox. Before downloading it, I can just X stream it, see if I like it. If I really like it, yeah, I'll install it.
Wow.
So yeah, physical media is fucked because I just said all of that, and then like I was saying, physical media, the disc isn't mean anything anymore. Once you put the disc in, you still have to install the day one patch. That's 100 something gigabytes, which is the full game. So the disc is just something you have to put
I
in.
mean,
That's a license that says you own the
look,
game.
look, I think we can even look at music as an example of like where things are going. Like, think about the fact like people don't put the same kind of value in an album as a product, and then
Hmm.
look at how games are being put out today.
Yeah,
It's like it's just something to pump out, you know?
it's fucked because I felt like I was just getting old, right? But no, maybe like
Nah, like it's like the
our
quality is getting worse.
our old heads were right when they were just like, yeah, shit ain't made the same.
I mean, I can imagine like for like the niggas that were growing up listening to like the OJs
Yeah,
and like
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Earth, Wind and Fire, and I can understand how like rap doesn't sound like you know what I'm saying.
Like
And I can
Chief
also
Keef.
understand how like I can also understand how if you grew up listening to like Wu Tang and when you hear Lil Baby, you could be like, this is not it, you know.
I don't know. Some of them
I
little
feel you.
baby verses, man. Some of them little baby
I,
verses you gotta fuck with.
oh yeah, you gotta fuck with him. Voice of the streets.
Look, man, listen, I appreciate you, bro. Beautiful.
Bro,
12-6. I'm proud of you,
thank you
bro.
so much for having me on here.
Hey, man,
Really
listen,
fuck with it.
Sushi Blue.
Cool. Shout out Sushi Blue.
Yes, sir.
Shout out Lord Drip.
Man, thank you for holding it down. Basement Gang. You know, you've
Absolutely,
been
bro.
sold out shows, all these streams. Majin Buu, that's one thing. Before I let you go, that's one thing I wanted to ask you on
Yeah.
camera. Majin Buu, bro. Like, first of all, I'll never forget when babies actually dropped. I mean, I ran
Me neither.
babies into the ground. The phone, Can't Stand are still to this day some of my favorite records. But
That's blessed.
how does it feel to have a timeless record like Majin Buu? Like when it comes Spotify rap time and Apple replay time and all that shit, and you see this
Yeah.
one record that you don't even talk about ever anymore.
It's strange, you know? It's like it's a reminder that no matter like what it is, like even days you don't believe in it, you should just keep going because like it's not all about you. You know, this thing that we're doing, expressing ourselves, like especially as black men, like it's so much bigger than just than us, you know? Everything that we do. And that's how I feel about the music. Once I put the song out, like it's bigger than me. And that's how I feel about that song, you know? Like, at any moment, anything that any one of us does could be bigger than, anything that we'll do going forward even. But you only get there by, like, continuing to put yourself out there, continuing to, like, believe in what you're doing. So, I hope you have that same energy, like, with your podcast, with your stream, because like, I didn't think this song would be, to this day, my number 1 stream song. When I put it out, I just liked it a lot, and I felt the same way about "Different" too, you know? Just keep going, that's it. Yeah. I'm like T-Pain, rapper turned singing. Yes, sir. I'm proud of you too, bro. Thank you for having me. I gotta come back soon.